Hello everyone. It has just gone 7:30 on Sunday night, and tonight I don't really know what we're doing. That's okay. We're going to work it out as we go along. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. I've had a really busy weekend. I did a whole bunch of things, and I do feel a bit accomplished. You know, when you get a lot of things done, even if they're only small things. We're doing things. My husband and I are sort of trying to get lots of stuff done around the house so that when he goes away at the end of this month, and then when I go away early next month, we've got everything kind of sorted and the house is the way we want it to be. So we've been working really, really hard. There's inside stuff to be done. There's outside stuff to be done. So last weekend, I think I did a heap of my tax, which is also something else that has to be done. And then I also, my husband pressure washed the driveway, and we got one of the rooms worked on. I did the bookcases this weekend. It's been washing all the blankets and all the things, all these things that pile up. And I have kind of let them go too long. There's been other things that we've been thinking about over the last few months, and everything just really needs to be given a good go over. So that's what I've been doing this weekend. Tax is finished. Hooray. Got that done. Blankets at the laundromat today. So hours of sitting at the laundromat and working all that out. And then also little things like whippersnipping and cleaning up the kitchen and blah, blah, blah. Oh, we stuck all the floorboards back down after the leak we had underneath the sink. All those things that you think they're so mundane and so boring, but they've got to be done, right? So now I'm excited because I get to play with stamps, ink and paper and have a bit of fun on Sunday night. So that'll be a welcome break from all the busyness of the weekend. So I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Margaret, we're really glad that you're with us tonight. I see your name popping up, so that is fantastic. But I see also people saying they're giving you big hugs, and I think you've just been through a really stressful time. Please go easy on yourself. Know that you can't do everything, and it's okay. Take some time out for you. Rose, hello. Nairi, hi. Hello, Cherie. No, we didn't use the whippersnipper in the kitchen. No, that was outside. That would not be boring if we did that. But no, the kitchen was gluing down all the tiles in the kitchen again that we had to rip up when we had a big leak under our sink a few weeks ago. We came back from Tamworth when we'd been up there after my dad passed away, and had to completely rip up most of the floorboards, because not the floorboards but the lino tiles, had to rip those up because the leak had spread out and everything was wet. So I'm glad that it's fixed now. My husband was very good. He fixed all that. Thank goodness we didn't have to get a plumber. But it's all done. So I'm going to give you guys a choice tonight. I thought we would start by playing around with something from the something that's retiring, something that's being discontinued, because I hope you guys know it's the last chance list that's happening right now, which means everything I'm showing you tonight is available for purchase. I didn't go and check the inventory status report before to see if it had sold out, but I'm pretty sure the stuff I'm showing you has not sold out. I'm going to give you guys a choice. You can choose between the Link Together bundle, which is this one. I'll bring it back here. This one that is in the mini catalogue. I thought I'll give you the choice between a mini catalogue one, and that's stamps, inks, and masks. And the other one that I've got is the Friends for Life, which is also on the retiring list. So that's these dies, this paper, and Friends for Life. Here it is, and this stamp set. Okay, so which one would you guys like to see? One, the Link Together set, which is out of the mini catalogue, or two, the Friends for Life bundle, which is out of the annual catalogue. Give me a shout out and let me know which one that you guys would like to see. This one is stamps, dies, and paper, and this one is stamps, dies, and masks. Okay, you'd like to see the masks? Says Nairi. Margaret said the masks. Link Together says Cherie. All right. We have both of them popping up. Friends for Life says Rose. Janine said 2. It does look like we have more people, and the first person that did comment said Link Together. So it looks like that's the one that we have right now. That was you, Cherie. You were, oh, actually, Susie said the masks. All right, so that's the one. I'll show you these ones another time. I mean, if you want me to, I can show them tonight. But I thought, I know you guys have been hanging out to see some new stuff as well. And I did tell you tonight that I might show you some new stuff. So, all right, stamps, dies, and masks. All right, I've got them here on the desk. I'm going to switch over and let's see how we go. All right, let me see that I've got all the comments, the most recent comments that I can see them. Hey, Sylvia, nice to see you. Back home to Auckland. Well, you had a lovely big holiday, didn't you? Wasn't that a long time? How long was that altogether that you were in Australia? Glenda said that she would have liked to, and Cheryl would have, and Leslie would have liked to see number 2. But I can do that one next if you want me to, or I can show the new stuff. So one or the other, but we're going to start with this one. So let me quickly show them to you. These are in the mini catalogue, the one that is on my desk somewhere that I can't see it right now. Oh my goodness. Have I lost it already? Oh, hang on. I can see one. That didn't take me long to lose something, did it? Okay, so in this catalogue is where you'll find the Link Together bundle. And it's up towards the back, page 48 and 49. And they've got some really beautiful samples here, different things they've done with them. They're showing the masks in use, okay? And there's different things that you can do with these, okay? So I like here they've actually used the dies over the top of the masks, and that looks really cool. And then here they've actually used the dies, but then they've cut them out with, so they've used, let me show you the dies. They've used the lattice die in conjunction with the oval die. So this is on page 48. Okay, so they've used this one and this one together, okay, to get a really interesting effect. Can you see it there where they've actually got them, and then they've used those as the background? That's really interesting. This one shows the masks in use, and they've actually used this little like diamond shape, okay, and they've used the diamond shape at the top here, and then they've done a second one, cut it in half, and then added that behind the first shape. So it almost looks like 2 arrows actually, but really different ways to use them, and they're very, very inspirational seeing what they've done with them here. So my favorite thing to do with this particular bundle has been to make window cards, because I think it makes really great window cards, and we can do one of those today if you like. I have done window cards with these before, but I haven't done it for a while, so I can certainly do one of those if you like. So here are the masks down the bottom, and they are numbered 1 through to 5, okay, and they all match up together, but they each have like a different take. So I don't know if I've got them in the right order. Okay, so this is one. You can see it's got quite thin weave there, and that means that you're going to get a lot of color on this one, because there's not very bit, only the lines are only a tiny bit of masking, so you're going to get those. And then this is number 2. This one's got thicker lines, so you're going to get smaller diamonds at the back, okay? But if you put the 2 together and line them up, you can kind of see that they do actually work together. So you could do them in different colors and end up with different shapes. And then that's number 3. So this one's wider again. Once again, they line up. I hope you can see. Can you see how they're lining up like that? Very, very cool. And you could do different colors and different shades. Then we've got this one. Now, this one's a bit different. This one does fit with these, but it starts to give you like diamond and triangle shapes. And that's really interesting, because when you put those together, it starts to, aren't these interesting? I've got a thing for geometric shapes. I think they look fabulous on a page. And then this is number 5, and this is like little flowers. You see those? And you can use any of these by themselves, but when you use them together, you get a really interesting look. So you can actually get this one giving you really, really a lot of interest. Okay, so I'm going to check 3 weeks, Sylvia. That was a long time, wasn't it? But was it long enough? That's my question for you. Were you happy to go home? Was it too long, or what do you think? 3 weeks in Australia, is that about right? And what did you get to see? All right, so I don't know if anyone, that's a very good question Leslie's asking, that the masks, and all the other bits and pieces. I know that the dies and the stamps are marked down, and they may be cheaper to buy separately than as a bundle. So that's something definitely. Is it still cheaper to? Oh, thank you, Cherie, for saying that. So Cherie's done the numbers. She's got her trusty calculator out, and she says it's still cheaper to buy the bundle as a bundle. Interesting. Okay, all right, because I really wasn't sure how that would work out. All right, so the question is, what color shall I do this in? What color would you like me to use? I could go a purple card. I could go purple or pink would be very fun colors. I could go green, but I'm wondering green, purple, or pink. What do you guys think? Oh, Margaret said blue. That wasn't one of the options, Margaret, but I can do it. All right, let me pull out some of these colors then. All right, so I've got Misty Moonlight. I've got Balmy Blue, because those go nicely together. And somewhere, I think in here, I should have some navy. But I have, where is the navy? We could get a bit special and use some Secret Sea, because that's also like a dark blue. So I'm just going, because my navy is not in its hidey hole, and I'm wondering if it's still in my kit from when I went to class this week. It could be. Give me 1 second, and I'm just going to see if it's in my kit of stuff from my class. Interesting. Doesn't seem to be there. That's okay. That's quite all right. The other option would be like teals and greens and stuff. Oh, there's a $2 difference, Cherie. That's good to know. Look, other people are saying all the other colours, but because Margaret was first, I'm trying to accommodate her with the blues. And what have I done with my navy ink pad? That is a problem. Well, I could jump in and, like I said, I could add Secret Sea to the mix. That would work. Although it's more of a grey blue, but we could do it. We could give it a try. Should we try it? It's this. See how it's very, very dark? It's more grey, and it's quite like a charcoal blue, if that makes sense. All right, let me see what we can do. Well, I'm going to start out with my lightest blue, which will be Balmy Blue. So, Margaret, you've thrown me for a little bit of a loop because, not that I'm complaining, because I wasn't prepared for blue. But I should always be prepared for blue because it is a beautiful colour, right? All right, so I've got a piece of Balmy Blue here. I like a challenge. Who else likes a challenge? When someone says, try this, I go, okay, let's see what we can find. Let's see how it turns out. All right, so I've got my Balmy Blue piece, and I've made my card base. So it is 14.8 long and 21 centimeters across, which is the width of a full sheet of A4. Okay, so all right, so I'm going. You don't have to do these in the order that it says. Okay, you can. Now I'm just gonna. The nice thing about these is that you can see through them, which means you can line it up perfectly. And you can see. I don't know if you can. Can you see where the cardstock is underneath? That makes it really, really easy to line up. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to start with my lightest blue, which would be the Balmy Blue. I'm grabbing out a couple of blending brushes. Yeah, teal would have been good too. So I would have done Pool Party, Coastal Cabana, maybe Summer Splash, and but definitely Pretty Peacock. That would look really good on that as well. Right, so I'm making sure this is lined up straight. And I'm going to start down here in the bottom. And I'm just going to do a fairly light coverage with this mask. I haven't given up the idea yet either of adding a window to this. I might still do that. I'm going to get a bit more of the ink. anyone remember, did I use navy the other night and then just not put it back? I can't remember if I did. I don't think I did use navy the other night. So you can see I'm basically covering the whole thing with just a fairly light layer of balmy blue ink. Right, when I take that away, you can see how that looks. Now you can see I'm a little bit darker over in this corner. If you wanted to cover it again, you just line it back up. It's actually pretty easy to do. I'm not using my notch. If I was using a piece of paper underneath, I could use my notch, but I'm not even worrying about it. I'm just going to give it so it has a bit more even. That's better. All right, so that's how that's looking. It's really, I mean, it's so easy. This is such an easy technique. All right, I'm going to go up to balmy blue. And I'm going to put this on here. Now, what I'm doing is I'm lining it up so that those lines, and I can see them through here, those are lined up exactly with the original where I was in the first place with the first one. Just making sure. Yep, that looks good. All right, so this time I'm going Misty Moonlight. Hold it down, and this time we're going to go a little bit darker. You can see, and I'm only going light, okay? I'm not using a lot of color. That, how heavy or dark you go is completely up to you. If I want to add a bit more color, I could press heavier. You can see how that's looking. Now, if we decided, like at the end of this, I can use all of these masks. I'm not going to use them all. I'm actually going to use, who can guess which one I'm going to use? All right, can you see how you've got the two different colors coming through there? Can you see that? Looks really cool. Actually, that's a very good question, Marilyn. I don't know why I don't use that color very often. I don't feel it goes as well with this group of blues that I'm using right now. But yeah, Peacock's pellets. Is that what you're calling this? Is that what you're... I don't understand. What's Peacock's pellets? You'll have to explain it to me. I don't know why I don't use it very often, but you're right. I don't use it much. And I don't know why, because it's a perfectly fine color. Maybe I should challenge myself to use a little bit more. All right. So I'm actually thinking about going on here with this and then adding my darker color over the top. So I'm going to put these, I'm lining it up with what's already there. And I'm making sure that all of those little flowers fit inside all of the and I can see the what I've done already through that paper. And I'm going to, let me see, which one will I use? I'm going to use, I'm actually going to go and Secret See. The other option would be use white. White looks really good. If I've done the like underneath dark enough, then the white looks really good. But I'm going to go with this one this time. And I'm going to, Secret Sea is a very dark color. So it's a bit darker, I think, than navy. And it's certainly more of a charcoal gray. So I've gone, the masks that I've used are 1, 2, and 5. I could have used them all. It's quite a nice look. I can show you a couple of other projects that I've done, use these with. But I've just realized when they said these were discontinuing, I just realized that I haven't used them nearly enough on my live videos, and that's kind of a shame, really. All right, so what I'm wanting to do is make sure that I've got all of them. Oh, I've missed a little bit. Oh, I moved it a tiny bit. Oh, well. It doesn't look bad, though. You can see I messed up a couple over here. Ah, silly me. But it still looks okay. What do you think? It's kind of cool, right? All right. So at this point, I'm thinking because these are all lined up and like in the middle. I'm just listening to what Sylvia did. Oh my goodness me, you've had such a great time. You know what? Tambourine Mountains is beautiful. But did you get any leeches when you went walking in the Tambourine Mountains? Because I remember I got leeches when I was there. I'm tempted to cut this out of here. And you're probably thinking, oh, Linda, why would you do that? Like, really? This actually, when we cut this out of here, it doesn't cut. You don't end up, it actually just cuts the rectangle. So we would only have this around the outside. Now, if I decide I don't want to do that, I could do like what they did in the book. I could put this here. I don't know. What do you think? Do we like it? It's the nice thing about this is it's really easy to line up because I just, you know, this is like a little square at the top here and half a square at the bottom here as well. So, yeah, that would look nice. Or I can cut a rectangle out of the middle and make it a window. Or I could also use. So let me show you what I've done in the past with a couple of these because I think this is really beautiful. Give me a second. I should have thought to get this out before I went live, but I wasn't 100% sure which set I was using, so I didn't. Here we go. Here's one. So I've done a couple with windows, but this is a piece where I masked it, as you can see, and then I put these pieces on top. And I thought that turned out really nice. That's with Pretty Peacock and Pool Party. And I think maybe some Coastal Cabana in there as well. So that's a really nice way. And then I've used, you know, these little flowers and some of these leaves to add some pieces to that as well. And I thought that turned out really nice. It is a lovely card. Okay, so people are saying they like the idea of the diamond. Maybe a little snail on your glass mat will hold your card still. You know what? It probably would. I'm not too worried about it though. I'm actually okay with it as it is. I know this is just such an easy thing to do. So you can see I've just done, and I did actually do. Can you see some of those little flowers again? I don't know if you can see them. I actually did them in white over the top of the others. So, you know, we've got a few fun things going on here, right? So do I want to cut out a piece and put it on top like I did with this one? Or do you want me to cut a window? If we cut a window, we're going to lose a bit, but then so are we going to lose a bit if I put a piece on top. And then people were saying they like the diamond idea. All right, well, let's do the diamond because I haven't done a lot with the diamond, and I think that's really cute. So I'm going to cut that out of basic white. I've got some pieces here, and I'm just going to cut that out. And I'll be right back because I'm right behind me where my cut and emboss machine is. So that's how that would look on there, like that. And then I'm thinking I could do some little flowers and things as well. So what will we stamp on here? We've got So Happy For You, which would fit quite nicely. We've got an Enjoy. If I was going to do like one of these, a long one, I'd probably go this way. So that would be another option as well. But I think I like it this way. I think I do like it. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Secret Sea, seeing as I can't find the navy. Secret Sea it is. But we're going... Can you use white craft ink on these masks? Oh, no, absolutely. And that's what I did here. I used white craft ink on this one. So, yeah, definitely. I use it all the time and then just wipe it off with a baby wipe afterwards. it actually works really well. And then you can emboss it if you wanted to, but, you know, you wouldn't have to. So I'm going so happy for you or enjoy. Which one will we go? Did anyone say? The nice thing about the masks, I think, is that you don't have to have like designer series paper to pretty up your card, because the masks do it for you. Okay, they really are special. Is everyone happy with so happy for you? Is that okay? Or did someone? Yep. Oh, Monique said enjoy, and then Susie said so happy, and Leslie said so happy. Oh, it is beautiful up there, Sylvia. Okay, nearly everyone is saying so happy. So sorry, Monique. You've been outvoted tonight, honey. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm going to do so happy for you. It's like a scripty, scrolly font, this one. So it's rather nice. And I'm going to pop this. Now, I am going to pop this on dimensionals. And then I'm going to decide if we're going to have little flowers and things, whether I want to have them like over the top, or maybe I'm thinking maybe sliding them under. So with that in mind, I'm just going to pull these in from the edge a bit so that there's room to slide stuff. And then we're going to turn it up the right way, and we're going to put that so it's right there in the middle. And like I said, I'm following. Okay, that looks rather good, doesn't it? Right, so, but I feel like we want to have some, you know, some little, I'm thinking maybe some silver might look nice. Silver, like maybe a couple of these, and maybe a couple of little flowers. In what color? I'm thinking maybe some misty moonlight flowers. Maybe those would look good. Let me have a look here. The other color I could have used, but I didn't, was boho blue. You know, that would have looked nice too, but it's a little bit mauve, isn't it? So I'm not going to bring that in now. So let me grab some misty moonlight. Actually, that's navy. No, of course it's navy. It's not misty moonlight, but this is. Okay, I'm having trouble. Every time I pull out a piece of what I think is misty moonlight, it turns out to be navy, and it's because I don't have good lighting behind me here. Oh, I see. There we go. So that would be these. Or if I did with balmy blue ones, then I could ink them. I could ink the balmy blue ones with some misty moonlight ink to darken up the edges, and that would probably look really nice. So what do you guys think about that idea? So if I did a couple of these flowers, that would work. I'm just looking at everybody's. Where did I miss the question? Oh yes, about the using white ink on the embossing folders. I love white ink on the embossing folders. I think it looks really good. All right, I'm going to quickly. Now the nice thing about the flowers in this set is that they you don't just do one flower at a time. So for example, the little daisies, there's 2 of them joined together, and then the other little flowers, there's 4 of them joined together. So that makes it really easy to actually cut them all out. So it does multiples. Okay, let's see what we've got here. So you see how you get 4 of these at a time. Let me grab my take your pick tool, push that one out. So you've got 4 of these. And then we've got these little daisies, which I think are super cute. You get 2 of those. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe, I think we'd want 3 little flowers, but I want to give them some, or we go with these ones. What do you think? I like these guys. I've got a thing for them. So I'm actually thinking maybe, should I use a blending brush or will I use a sponge dauber? Maybe a sponge dauber. Let me grab one of those. And I'm just looking to see. Oh no, that's got a bit of green on it. We don't want a green one, we want a blue one. Well, that's definitely a blue one, even if it is blueberry bushel, but that's fine. I can throw that into a bit of... So I'm just going to do like the edges, the ends. You know, little things like this, there's such a little detail, but it makes all the difference to how things look on your cards. So do take the time to add those little details, because those are the things that are going to make the big difference at the end. Okay, so that's looking kind of cute. So do we think the little flowers or the big flowers? What did everyone think? Hi, April. Nice to see you. Hello, Dolores from Tennessee. And he said it's raining. Well, it has. We've had lots of rain over here in Australia. We had here in our local area, we had 18 days of rain. That's 18 days out of the month in March. That's how much rain. So a lot of rain. And, you know, Queensland has had even more than we have. So I don't know how much they've had, but it's a lot. So I'm thinking that that's kind of cute. And I'm going to put like a shiny gem in the middle. So I need to cut one more of those, don't I? So because this one I only did 2. So I'll cut one more. You think the big one's 2? It does look lovely with strawberry slush, Leslie. It's a great colour. Cloud cover is my new favourite as well. Unfortunately, that's the one that they're having trouble with the ink. And so that's a bit sad. So we haven't got the ink for it yet. We have got the markers though. So if you're a demonstrator, you can get your hands on the markers now. But if you're not, you'll need to wait until it comes out on the 6th of May. Actually, on that note, if you are thinking about joining, this is actually a really good time to do it, because pre-order is when you can get stuff early as a demonstrator. So if you are ordering, or if you're, you know, joining and getting yourself a kit, you're allowed to put new stuff in your kit. So that's a bit of a fun thing that only people who are joining would get to do that customers can't. Of course, demonstrators can order as well, people who are already demonstrators. So I've managed to get my hands on some beautiful new things. All right. What's on your list, Nori? Are we talking about the colour again, about cloud cover? All right. So I'm thinking about putting these straight across here like this, because I think they would look quite pretty. Either that, maybe one up, one down. What do you guys think? Do you think that looks good? I'm going to start with the one in the middle. And I'm going to use a glue dot for it. And And I didn't worry about putting any ink in the middle because I'm going to put a gem there, so it doesn't make any sense to. So let's do that. Yeah, Secret Sea and Cloud Cover are my two favorites of the new colors. And does everyone realize that the current colors that go from 2023 to 2025 are retiring? And so you'll want to be quick. Now, I know in some parts of the world, I believe in the US, I think Boho Blue is already out. I don't know if it's out in everything or if it's just out in the refills. I'm not really sure. But so I'm thinking about doing these in silver. What do you think? Do the little leaves in silver. So let me grab those. Just going to quickly cut those. Okay. These leaves are so pretty. They've got like a little cut in the leaves themselves, which is decorative. So I'll show you what I mean. Can you see like the little cut in the, hard to see it, I know. But yeah, they're really nice. So this one is going to go up here. So I'm going to put a glue dot behind that as well. Like that. And then this one, I don't need to hide all that. So I'm going to cut a bit of this off. And we'll put a glue dot behind that one. Like that. I mean, I could put another one if I wanted to, but I don't think it needs it. So let's... try and put these all back in the right place. And then I didn't quite put it back in the right place, but it will do for now. This is probably my favorite die, and I haven't even used it tonight, but that's okay. All right, we are going to need some bling. I could go with some like just silver. The silver beveled ones, they actually would look really nice. If I can find them, the Drucy dots would also look really good. I know, Susie, you love the Drucy dots. You're always telling me to use those. Let me see if they're handy, because if they are, those would look good. These also, oh, does anyone know if these are retiring? These are really lovely. These little faceted iridescent ones. What are they called? Iridescent faceted gems. That's them. Those are really nice as well. So those would also be good. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not going to be like a purple posy situation, Jody, because that didn't go well. We never did end up getting all of them in, and it was very sad. Very, very, very sad, because I really would have loved to have been able to buy them that year as a group, but we never were able to, really. So I'm looking to see if my Drucy dots are handy, and if they're not, well, I have got some. Oh, look at this. I don't have very many silver ones left, but what do we think? Do we think the iridescent faceted, the metallic adhesive gems in the silver, or do we think the Drucy dots? What do you guys think? Drucy's your favourite too, Lorraine. All right, then sounds like Susie's saying she loves Drucy too, so I'm thinking I've got a few of the larger size, and only one left of the smaller size. So I'm thinking I need to use the larger ones. I wonder if they're too big. Are they too big? I don't think they are. I think they're okay. Just to make sure there's no cat hairs there, because sometimes they stick to my adhesive. I wonder how they get. Well, I wonder how they get there. All right, I'm going to call that finished. I probably could have put the So Happy a tiny bit higher, maybe, but I still like it. I think it still turned out okay. You think they're just right, Susie? Good, good. Look, we all have our reasons to craft, Nairi, and I think that that's an important reason. You know, some time for yourself and taking your mind off all those other things. I definitely have been using it as my escape these last couple of months. You know, been through some tough times, and it's, you know, it's really lovely to have a craft like this that we can escape in and enjoy. You know, I just think that's such a lovely thing to be able to do. I'm just going to give this a wipe. And if anyone's thinking to themselves, why isn't she using the cleaning cloth? Because I forgot to wet it before I started, and it's no good when it's dry. So I need to remember that before I go live. Yes, Lorraine, if ever I find that out, if there's a secret. Oh, look, I have a friend here. Look at this. Isn't that always the way? Who else finds these things everywhere? Goodness me. Oh, Lacey said it helps her. So, yeah, in the comments, tell me, what does crafting do for you? You know, why do you craft? You know, does it get your mind off other things? Is it an escape? Because definitely I find it is that. Is it just something that brings you joy? What is it about crafting that you love? Oh, it keeps you poor, says Sheree. That's not such a good one. That's not so good. Yeah, I am wondering if it needs another flower or something above the sentiment as well. I feel like, you know, maybe, I mean, I could have added one of these, but then I feel like it's, you know, I could do another one up there. I could. Do you think that would be over the top if we added one more? Because it does, to me, it looks not quite, it needs something. It keeps you alive, Rose. That's a pretty big deal. An escape, says Monique. It brings you a happy place, says Susie. Add it and be daring. Okay, let's do it. All right, I'm going to just do the ends of this again. And I've got another juicy dot that I can add on there. So I could even add a small one if I wanted to, because that's sort of, or should we add a big one again? What do you think? Would a small one look weird? Or should we just keep them all the same? Great stress relief, says Maureen. Yeah, we've all got our reasons why, right? It feels lovely to have something that's just for you. I think so. When some of you know this story, that when I first found papercraft, I originally was a scrapbooker. Okay, big one matching. All right then, I will do it, says Cherie. I will do it. Big one it is. There we go. Is that better? I think it looks better. A bit more balanced. You craft to give others pleasure. See, that's a great reason too. Yeah, look, when I first started crafting, it was because I had been identified as having a postnatal depression when my daughter was about a year old. Well, actually earlier than that, but it was about a year old when I saw a doctor who said, you need to find something just for you. You need to find something that, you know, is your, and I had been quite an artiste, you know, sketching and doing various different arts and crafts and all sorts of things my whole life, really. My mum and I used to craft together when I was little. Yeah, I love the crafting community too, Maureen. They're amazing. And then when I actually, let me get started on the next thing, so I'm not just talking and not doing anything. How about that? Otherwise, I might as well not have you looking at an empty desk. Are we going to look at something new, or are we going to look at something? So here's your choices. All right, I can do something with this, or, which is new, or I can do something with the Friends for Life that we looked at before. Okay, so there's your options. What would you like to do? Another retiring one, or will we do something new? New. Of course you're going to say new when I ask you that, right? Yeah, Rose, I understand. I really do. The new, what was that about the new hexagon? Oh, yes, I don't have those, Marilyn. I know. I heard that they're lovely. I haven't seen them in real life yet. All right, everyone's saying new, so new it is, and we'll do Friends for Life another time. How about that? So this Gallery Bloom set, it has a matching set of dies. Let me find them. Just 1 second. Although I don't know if I'm going to use them tonight. We'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I may just... I've got so many new things to show you that I could probably, keep on using new things for quite a while, and we'd have plenty to go on with. But also, I don't want to stop people from buying product now. I want you guys to know that just because I'm showing you new product that you can't yet buy doesn't mean there aren't lots of things that you can buy. All right, so please bear that in mind when you're looking at all these things that I'm showing you. With the DSP from Full of Life. I'm not going to do that, Donna, because that then gives me a problem. Okay, and I'll tell you why. It means that I then have a card that I can show in pre-order period, but once the last chance stuff has gone, then the card that stuff is no longer any good to me. So I try and keep one or the other. I don't very often do something with both. Occasionally I do, but Gallery Blooms to me is a set that needs to be used with like more of a softer kind of a thing. So I feel like I'm just going to grab myself a piece of basic white card here. Actually, I'm wondering, will I go basic white, or will I go? Maybe I won't. Maybe I will go instead down the track with like an antique kind of a look. So that might be nice. Let me see. We have so many beautiful things at the moment. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to stick with the white. It's okay. I'm going to go white tonight. And this stamp is just stunning. It is so beautiful. But if I was going to go with more of an antique-y look, then I would go like vanilla probably, or even basic beige, not white. Fabulous, Katrina. Absolutely fantastic. Did you see the card that I did the other night, the other day with the? I had a frame on it with the damask embossing folder in the background, and it's actually, the card turned out really lovely. I don't know what I've done with it now, unfortunately. If I knew where it was, I'd drag it out and show it to you. But maybe we will do something with that, actually, because this is beautiful. It is really lovely. All right, so I'm going to... Oh, now they're saying beige. Okay, all right, beige it is. You guys get me to try lots of different things, and I think that's a good thing. I think I don't mind doing a sudden change and changing up the colors that I'm using or something like that. I feel like that means that we all get a surprise, and I end up creating something that I didn't expect. All right, I'm going to put this on the basic beige. Look how beautiful. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that lovely? So nice. And I'm just thinking, you know what I should have done? I should have done it in the middle. And let me see if this is big enough, and I'll cut this out. Because, yeah, I'll come back to that in a moment. We're going to stick with this, and I'm actually going to cut this out with the matching die, which I've never used before. So let's quickly run that through the machine. Okay, so this is actually going to be, believe it or not, a pretty quick card. I'm going to try and keep it fairly simple. And that's going to go, is it going to go back on there? I think it's going to go there somewhere, because this was inside it, wasn't it? Huh. I've actually managed to, oh well, I'm just going to stick that down there like that for now. And I've got all these other like little standalone pieces that I could add, which would look nice as well, but I'm just going to stick with that because I think it's really beautiful. I'm going to use some, I've got a sponge daughter. I know I really like basic beige too, and I know there's some people that actually have said they're not so keen on it, but I think it has a really, I think it definitely has a place, and it's a color we needed because it actually, I'm going to just color. I'm going to really, I want to make this kind of a vintage look. So now that gold, there's a paper. I'm wondering if it's still current because I have some. And then again, it might be last chance. So let me have a quick look in my, I'm just having a really fast look to see if it's still in our store. Nope, can't see it. So I'm going to assume it's not there anymore. That's okay. What color was that on the doorbell? That's basic beige. It's basic beige ink on the basic beige cardstock. Okay, so that's how that looks when you put those two together. And I think it's a really nice look. Now, I'm deciding if this is going to be on a frame, which is what I am anticipating. I could do a gold frame, maybe. Or I could do a different color. I don't want to darken it up too much, but I'm actually thinking about using some pecan pie for my base. Actually, maybe crumb cake. Crumb cake would look really nice. Give me a second, because I know I have some crumb cake in my bag from when I went to scrapbooking class this week. And crumb cake, I think, will be a really good colour. Actually, oh, I wish I had basic beige for, because what I'm wanting to do is use some two-tone cardstock. And I have basic beige. I don't have basic beige in two-tone, which we will have it, but I don't have any currently. So give me a second, and I'm going to pull out. I'm pulling out some crumb cake. The crumb cake and the basic beige, I don't know how they're going to look together. That's the only problem. I could use pebble pies, but that's retiring. I want to see how this looks. How would this work? Would this be too... It's actually going to be okay, even though it's a little bit... It's not quite the right colour, but it actually looks okay. So the other option, I could also go with like pecan pie would also be another option, but that might be a bit dark. but I wish I had basic beige, but I will have it as soon as the catalogue goes live. That's going to be on one of my very first orders. I'm going to put this. Right here. And then I'm going to use the damask embossing folder that's part of the same suite as this Gallery Blooms. Okay, and I'm going to put that in here. I'm going to do dark. Now I'm going to do the light side, like so. And I'm going to run that through my machine. And this is how it's looking. Can everyone see that okay? Ah, yes. Well, black, we may end up with some black on here. So never say never, Jody. So, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab myself a sanding block and I'm going to sand this background. Now, some of you may have seen me do this in my technique video last week about two-tone cardstock. And if you haven't seen this, it's so cool. And the reason we love two-tone cardstock is because it's white in the middle. So when you sand it back, you get that lovely white. Can you see how it's starting to look at that? Isn't that fantastic? I love this technique. So if you haven't seen this, go back and watch that video. It's got lots of different ways you can use two-tone cardstock, like ripping it to show the white edge. You can scrunch it up and sand it back. You can emboss it and sand it back. There's lots of cool things that it lends itself to. So go back and watch that video. That was last week's Technique Tuesday. All right, just going to get rid of all that. It's looking really nice. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Actually, I'm just going to do a little bit more. There's a bit more needs to happen here in the middle. So you can go back and add more. You can always see, you can see where it's not quite sanded back enough, but I'm happy with that. Right. So that's looking really good. Now I want to use a frame, okay? And I'm going to use probably this middle frame. When you cut this out, this frame is fantastic, okay? It actually cuts on the outside, of course. It cuts here and it cuts here. So that gives you two frames and a piece of paper from the middle, okay? So my thinking is when we put this down, and like I said, I'm going to probably use this size, the middle one. I'm now deciding what color do I want that to be. I have a number of options. I could go with like a green, like a mossy meadow. That would actually work quite nicely. I could go with a gold if I wanted to. I could go with the one that I did the other day that had the, I wish I knew where it was. Oh, hang on. Ha, ha, ha. We found it. Here you go, Katrina. See, there we go. We did this one, and I did the same thing where I sanded it back, but this is on Pool Party cardstock, and I used a white frame made with, can you see it? Oh, you can't really see it. The wood grain paper that we have. Oh, you can kind of see it there. Can you see it there? Ta-da! Oh, pecan pie might work. That could work. Now, the interesting thing is this wood grain paper, I could also use that and then use a blending brush and make it another color. And that would look really nice as well. So we're doing lots of technique today, aren't we? So should I do that with the wood grain paper Or should I just do it with, like, this will just turn out flat if I don't use a grained paper? What do you guys think? Marilyn said pecan pie. Pecan pie would look good, but then it's going to be very brown. And I'm wondering if I want to stay away maybe from too much brown. The other thing I could do is put the base on a pecan pie or I'm actually thinking it might look nice on an early espresso mat at the back, the same color as our ink for the flowers. Susie says black. Do you mean black for the frame? Moira's saying very vanilla. Oh, we've got a whole range of different opinions on this one. Really interesting. Okay, so I'm just feeling like if I'm going to do an early espresso piece around here, we've got early espresso ink. I don't want this to be too dark. I feel like I want to add some color. What color should I add? Early espresso matte, yes. Gold frame, says Nari. Let me try the gold and let's see how that looks. I'm going to grab myself a piece of gold. This would be interesting. Totally add another color. I've got this oxidized copper paper and we could do that. That's got, but I don't feel like that's maybe quite right. Not quite right, but that would look interesting, wouldn't it? So let's try a piece of gold, and if I don't use it for this, I'll use it for something else. Oh, oops. I need to put the thin die adapter in that I took out when I did the embossing. So the story I started to tell you before, guys, was when my babies were little and my doctor told me I had to find a craft. I had to find something that would, you know, fill my bucket, basically. And I think, so can you see with this one cut, we get 3 frames. This frame has like a, what do you call that? Is that beveled edge here in the corner? This one doesn't, but I think they're both nice. And you've got your center little piece in the middle here. But I'm thinking if we put that on here and this on here, what do you think? Does that look nice? It does look nice with the gold. I do like it. I think maybe I'll stick with the gold. And I'm going to grab an early espresso piece and do that for my mat at the back. And then we just need to add a sentiment and put it all together. So it's coming together. Gold frame and a black mat. I'm thinking gold frame and a early espresso mat. Only because I did my stamping in early espresso and I think that that's going to bring that out quite nicely. Like that. What do you think, guys? All right, so let's put it all together. This is actually easy now. So let me grab my... Now, I think the only thing I would have liked better about this card was if we had the 2-tone cardstock available in basic beige. I think I might have preferred that, but the crumb cake still looks pretty good. And you can buy crumb cake, packs of crumb cake 2-tone cardstock right now. You don't actually have to wait for that, but most of the other colors are coming in the new catalog. The only other way you would access the different papers, for the most part, you can get Pool Party, you can get Bubble Bath. There's a few different ones that you can get now, but then all of them are coming in the new catalog. All right, so I'm going to put behind here, will I use big dimensionals or small? Maybe I'll put a big one in each corner, I think. 1, 2, 3, and 4, like so. And 1 on this side, 1 on each long side. It's coming together nice, isn't it? This is such a beautiful suite. If you, like I said, if you're already a demonstrator, you can get it now. It is part of the pre-order, I believe. But, or unless I'm telling a big lie, and it's not. But I got mine because I went to Onstage. But for those of you who are customers, you will need to wait until the 6th of May when it comes out. Sorry about that. All right. So this is going to go on here. I'm going to put this here and this another one here. There we go. And then this side, I'm going to put a bit of glue over here on the edge so that it will stick to the frame. I'm putting it, you can put it right in the middle if you want to. I'm putting mine slightly to one side because I'm going to put my greeting down here. Now the question is going to be, what, we don't have any like greeting kind of sets in here. Sorry, like sentiment dies, but that's okay. We've got lots of options. We could, and what do you think? Should I use basic beige again for my card base? Let me see how that looks. Maybe that would look okay, or maybe it would not. You know what? It's interesting. I actually think that looks not bad at all with the crumb cake. And I would never have thought to put crumb cake and basic beige together, but I actually think it looks nice. Well, next month, May, as many of you know, I'm going away, but there will be a Zoom class at the end of the month. And so I am deciding what set to do my Zoom class with. This is a contender, but I'm really not quite sure at this point. Have not decided because we have lots of options. The thing is, it has to be something that's available to order now for me so I can make my projects with it before I leave, because I need to advertise it and I will actually be away when the catalogue goes live. I can't believe I'm going to be away when the catalogue goes live, but I am. So that means I need to get my act together. That's what that means. So I'm deciding what I should do about a sentiment. Can't wait for the sailboat to arrive. Sitting by the dock of the bay. That's what that sounds like, Cherie. Yes, so Leslie said she's got it from pre-order. I know the flower is just beautiful, isn't it? And you know what would make it even more beautiful? If we add some Winker Stella to the center here. I'm just going to add, maybe I'll add it to the whole thing because I can't help myself. That's pretty. Cookie's having a bit of a chat up there. Hello, Cookie. He hears his name. He knows it well. Yes, I would say papercraft and being part of a papercraft community has saved me more than once. And that's such a big thing. All right, so I'm thinking for the sentiment, we've got some options. I could do, you know, one of these and then make the, do I have a basic beige marker? Is there such a thing? I don't think I do. But I could certainly change up the colors a little bit if I wanted to. So, you know, black is always nice, but it doesn't quite go with the rest of the card, I have to tell you. Oh, I've got these too. I haven't played with them yet, but these are new. So there's a whole bunch of different frames in here, gold frames, and those are already cut out and ready to go. Looking forward to using those. Those are really cool. So like I could do a best wishes, or the thinking of you is a bit big, but like a best wishes right here would look quite pretty. And I could put it on a circle even. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well stamp it. So let's see, what have I got? I could do a hello. Hello is always good. And have I got a nice little thinking of you? Leave the front as it is, the sentiment inside. Do you think so? Ah, everyone's saying that the sentiment shouldn't go on the outside. Well, we could do that. I always feel like a card is, I know it's not missing anything if it doesn't have a sentiment on the outside, but people are saying no sentiment on the outside, just bling. Okay, well, we can do some bling. And you know what else we could do? Hang on a second while I find it. Here it is. You know what I'm looking for, don't you? My trusty, fabulous, I could do a little bit of linen thread because that would go really nicely with the colours on this card. Because it's kind of a crumb cake colour, this linen thread, don't you think? And if I trim that off, I don't know, this might be too long, but I can always go shorter. And then pop that down here towards the bottom. I think that's rather nice, actually. I'm going to pop that on with my glue dots. Yeah, linen thread. That's exactly right, Leslie. You know, I'm a big lover of this stuff. I actually think this is one of those things that people should have in their craft supplies because I just think it's so pretty. I mean, look how nice that finishes it off, doesn't it? But we do still need some bling. Do we go with gold bling? Like we've got some of these gold ones here. I've got a big one and a couple of small ones that I could add. What do we think? Or do we want to do something other than gold? The thing is, we have so many different options. Oh, I wonder if I can find them, if I know where they are. We have the new pressed flower motifs that are part of this bundle, but I don't know whether I put them away. And that's very naughty of me if I didn't, because that means that they won't be here. But when I find them, I can add them. What do you think? Should we do that? Should I wait for the pressed flower motifs? Well, these are also lovely. These iridescent foil gems, and I believe those are staying in the new catalogue, so that's nice. We also have our neutrals dots, matte dots, and then we have vanilla, black, white, and pecan pie in those. We have our brushed brass butterflies. Those would also look nice. Oh, pearls. That's a nice idea. Oh, you know, I'm not sure where my antique pearls are, but I have pearls like these iridescent pearls. Well, they're not iridescent. They're just plain. Yeah, it does actually say iridescent basic pearls. So those would be nice, but you're right. I need to have a clean up, you guys. I'm getting myself in such a mess at the moment. I've got a class here on Wednesday and I need to go through and completely have a blitz on all my stuff because I'm in a mess right now. Antique pearls would be perfect. I agree, Leslie. Really lovely. Probably even better than normal pearls. But I'm not quite sure where I put them. I know that the new pressed flower motifs were out on my desk, and I don't believe I put them away. So that's on me. I need to fix that problem, and I need to have a cleanup, which is what I'll be doing tomorrow all day. I'm going to put some music on, and I'm going to clean. That's what I'm going to do. Anybody else get a big mess like this and then you can't find anything? Yes, I think the antique pearls. Oh, a tiny bee. The bee trinkets would also look really good, and those are not retiring either. I'm very excited that we've got some things that I really, really love that are not retiring. And I think that's a really cool thing. But nearly everything on this, actually everything on this card, as apart from the colours, is retiring. And the Juicy Dots, I don't think those are retiring either. But the Link Together stamp set and the matching dies and the masks, those are all going. So there we go. So I'm going to go and find my bling when I clean up tomorrow, and then I'll add that to this card, and then I'll post this card so you guys can see it. And we'll put a sentiment inside. I haven't decided which sentiment. This stamp set doesn't have any sentiments, this one that we're using. That's the flower that we've just used. However, there is another stamp set that is like a partner set to this, which is part of the same suite. It's called Beautiful Motifs, and it does have some beautiful greetings, like wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime. Thank you for everything. You've been on my mind. That would have been really nice to put in just a circle or something here on the. I'm here for you always, thinking of you. Just a note, hello, and celebrate. Super nice. Such a great suite. I really, really love it. And the papers are to die for. Those are gorgeous as well, and I'll show you those another time. We have had a bit of a play with the papers, but not a lot, right? So I've been, playing around with different things on my desk, but like I said, I'm in a giant mess right now. The second card's your favorite. What does everybody else think? Oh, bye for now, Nairi. Good to see you here tonight. Let me come back to you guys. Okay. You're very, very welcome. Oh, you have a big mess too, Susie. I know. Sometimes it just gets like that. I've had so much going on lately, and it's been actually because of last month being the month that it was. I didn't have a class here last month, and normally at least I clean up once a month, like a big cleanup once a month when I'm having a class. Well, last month that didn't happen, so I've got double that I really need to get into this month. You like the second card, Leslie? Oh, thanks, Solvega. So this is one of the retiring items. This one is retiring stock, and this one is brand new stock. Okay, we have some beautiful, beautiful things coming. If you have ordered from me in the last 6 months or so, then you will be receiving a catalogue in the mail from me, or if I see you at a class or something, you'll get a hand. I'll be giving it to you. So I tried to hold off the ones for the people that I knew I would see. Oh, thank you very much. I will. Fun cleaning. I know. Oh, I know. It's beautiful, Kaz. It's just gorgeous. I'm really glad you like it. Don't forget, guys, to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And if you haven't already, please sign up for the newsletter, because that's where you'll find out lots and lots of cool things. There are always video tutorials in there. There's important dates of things I have coming up, both online and in person. And any promotions or specials or anything like that, those things are all in those newsletters so that you don't miss anything. And that's why I send them. I normally send catalogs out once a week. So if you go to my web page or blog, it's www.lookwhatimade.com.au. And when you go there, you'll see, especially if you're on a computer, it's a bit easier. Over on the top right-hand side, there is a place for you to sign up for the newsletter. Okay, make sure you add your email address in there, and then you get added to the list, and you'll be getting the next one that comes out. All right, everyone. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I hope that you had fun and got to escape from all the other stuff that's going on in our lives. And I will see you all again really soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.